All right, it's here. The game of the year for LSU football. The Tigers on the road against Alabama this Saturday in Tuscaloosa. I think with the season on the line, LSU 6-2, Alabama 7-1. The Tigers with one conference loss, Bama undefeated in SEC play. One more loss at all, LSU's eliminated from any kind of discussion about the national championship, about the college football playoff. Plus, one more loss, they're out of the SEC West race. With a win, LSU is basically in sole possession of first in the SEC West. Ole Miss also has one loss. They've got the tiebreaker, but Ole Miss still has to play Georgia, which is probably a loss, right? And with that win, you're in the driver's seat. You're still in the discussion for the national championship. You're probably in the top 10 of the college football playoff rankings next week. So, point is, you got to win this game to keep the season alive if you're LSU. How will they do it? Well, the Tigers and their number one scoring offense in the country need to play their A game. And it might be tough because the defense you're facing, Alabama, probably, on paper it is, the best defense you've played all year. The Tide are the number 16 scoring defense in the country. They've held opponents to under 17 points per game. I'll tell you, if you don't score 17 points in this game, you're not winning this game. Now, that's not to say LSU hasn't faced a good defense this year. Florida State's the number 20 scoring defense right now. The Tigers have also played Missouri and Auburn, both who had solid defenses, at least at the time they played them. Now, with the Missouri and Auburn games, after you played the game, well, we found out those defenses weren't that good, and they've since regressed, right? But with Florida State, that's the one defense we have seen contain, really, this LSU offense in that 45-24 loss. They held the Tigers to 460 total yards, which is still really good. But what they did do, Florida State, is bottle up LSU's run game. And that's the one thing that's been key this year for LSU being so explosive, having that balanced offense, being able to run it for 200 yards and pass it for 300. If you can't do that, you can still win. It's just going to be a lot tougher. And that's exactly what this Alabama defense wants to do. They've got a top 30 pass defense, a top 25 rush defense, and that's really how they've beaten opponents this year. Alabama's held opponents to 110 rush yards per game. Last week, or 2 weeks ago, their last game against Tennessee, that Tennessee offense was top 10 in the country in rushing offense, and they got shut down. And that's why Alabama was able to come back in the second half, hold Tennessee to, I think, just 3 points, and end up winning that game by 2 touchdowns. That's exactly what Alabama wants to do to you, LSU, is stop your run game. Missouri, they were a good run defense. Actually, they're still a good one, top 30. But LSU ran all over that unit. They went for about 280 yards on the ground thanks to Jaden Daniels, thanks to Logan Diggs. If you can replicate that against a defense of a similar caliber, you'll win this game. I'm very confident in that. Something else to keep in mind, Alabama gets after the quarterback. Top 10 in the country, number 8, in fact, in sacks per game at 3.5. So it's been a great offensive line. Joe Moore Award contender. It's the award given to the best offensive line in the country. Emory Jones was knocked out of the... Was it the Army game or the Auburn game? I think it was Auburn game with an ankle injury. Brian Kelly said he's been practicing. He's LSU's starting right tackle, by the way, if you don't know. In his place, Lance Hurd, a true freshman, a 5-star true freshman, stepped in and played well. But Jones is back. You want to be at full strength for this game, and you got to give Jaden Daniels time or at least give him lanes so he can escape the pocket, get 20 yards downfield, something that offenses like to do to LSU's defense. So kind of flip it around on him, right? So again, Alabama wants to shut down your run game. They held Tennessee to 130 yards. Again, that was a top 10 rushing offense. LSU's rushing offense is number 13. So similar in terms of explosiveness, efficiency, and really just effectiveness. Okay? So if they do that to you, you're really in trouble. But something to keep in mind there with Tennessee, they don't have a top 50 passing offense. I don't know what the passing offense is exactly. It's not top 50. LSU is the number 3 passing offense in the country. That's why this offense is so good. They can run it, they can pass it, they do both at an elite level. So if you shut down one, you still got to worry about the other. And that's why I think this is a strength versus a strength game. LSU's offense, Alabama's defense going head to head in this one. Think of Texas. The only team this year to beat Alabama. They went to Tuscaloosa to get the job done. They totaled 450 yards, and they didn't run the ball very well. They only ran it for 100 yards, but they passed it for 350. So if Alabama's going to try to force you to be one-faceted in this game, take your run away, take your pass away. You got to be explosive and elite with the other. Couple quick things. In this matchup, the over, for people that don't understand betting, that's kind of the total for the game. So if it's 60, Vegas thinks that it's going to be like a 31-29 game or something like that. The over right now is set at 60.5, and in 3 of the last 4 games, the over has hit in this game, which means that the trend has been high-scoring games. If this is a high-scoring game, you got to side with the team that has the better offense, and the team with the better offense is LSU, as I've been alluding to for the past 5 minutes. So that's something interesting right there. If it's a shootout, taking LSU. LSU will win that style of a game. The keys to this game for LSU's offense, real quick here. Stay out of 3rd and long. Tennessee, again, couldn't pass the ball, couldn't run the ball. They were in 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10 all game long. Can't have it in this game. Establish that run game. The way you set up the passing plays, the deep shots that Texas hit on to beat Alabama, the 50, 60-yard deep passes, is by getting that run game going, forcing those safeties to creep up, bringing those linebackers up to the line of scrimmage, and hitting them deep. And then 2 last things, don't settle for field goals. If you get to the red zone, that's got to be a touchdown. We can't be settling for 3. Tennessee was up 17-0 last week or 2 weeks ago on Alabama, and they should have been up by more. And if you're up that many, you got a chance to put the game away early, put it away. So this is going to be a great game. LSU's offense against Alabama's defense, both units very good. Which one will prevail? We'll find out on Saturday, and I cannot wait to see it. Let me know who you think wins this game in the comments section, and be sure to like and subscribe.